Bombshell, we exclusively reveal the illness of the Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez. Let's get started. Music. Hello everyone and welcome to this new edition of Medidas Cautelares, Special Edition, Urgent Edition Exclusive. It's currently 10:20 in the morning. I never usually mention the time, but today it's worth noting the time, because I wanted to make this video as soon as possible. Because of that exclusive, that very relevant information that I just revealed in Libertad Digital and in Medidas Cautelares. We know the illness, or the condition, or the ailment that the Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez, is suffering from. We are sharing this exclusively and we are going to give all the details of this information, as always, showing it on screen. First-hand exclusive information on Medidas Cautelares. If you haven't done it yet, remember to subscribe to the Medidas Cautelares channel, because this is, let's say, red hot and bringing possibly one of the most important news stories of the year. And we already have this information on screen. Pedro Sánchez has been treated for a cardiovascular condition for months at the Ramón y Cajal hospital. In recent months, there has been a great debate in public opinion regarding the health status of the president of the government. His physical deterioration and weight loss have accelerated recently and are visible in his public appearances, with pronounced features, dark circles under his eyes, and a tense expression. Some media outlets have reported that Pedro Sánchez, 53 years old, appears gaunt due to suffering from chronic stress as a result of political pressure and the strain caused by his position. Last July, images of his hands drew particular attention, showing atrophy of the soft tissues, which highlighted a prominent venous system. When he was seen in Seville with Gordana Silianovska-Dabkova, president of North Macedonia, and Xiomara Castro, president of Honduras. Here was the image. Take a look. Look at the image of the hands, okay? Look at the veins down here. They were extremely swollen, incredible. And also look at the expression and the face of the Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez, completely haggard. As we revealed exclusively on Libertad Digital and on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez with highly reliable sources, Pedro Sánchez suffers from a cardiovascular condition for which he has been secretly treated in recent months at the Ramón y Cajal hospital in Madrid. This medical center is the designated hospital for Moncloa, the Congress of Deputies, and the Senate, since there is an agreement signed to that effect. Specifically, the General Secretariat of the Presidency of the Government and the Health Minister of the Community of Madrid signed it in June 2023. An amendment and extension to the agreement for healthcare assistance to the President of the Government and other high dignitaries, which was signed on August 24, 2018. The Prime Minister's heart condition. It could lead to possible cardiovascular events, such as thrombosis or a heart attack, and that is why he undergoes frequent checkups at Ramón y Cajal Hospital and at other private health centers by specialists in his condition. During the checkups, diagnostic tests are performed to monitor his progress, specifically a helical CT scan to check his coronary arteries. This advanced CT scan technique uses X-rays to obtain detailed images of the inside of the body. One of the doctors who has closely monitored the president is the head of the cardiology department at Ramón y Cajal, José Luis Zamorano. This doctor is considered an authority at the European level and has led the Cardiovascular Institute at the Hospital Clínico San Carlos, also in Madrid. He is an honorary member of the American Society of Echocardiography, a distinction reserved for only 11 non-American specialists. And he has been president of the European Association of Echocardiography, as well as president of the Clinical Guidelines Committee of the European Society of Cardiology. This specialist has already been leading cardiological care for patients since 2013 at the Millennium Conde Duque Medical Center, a center on the campus of Sanitas La Zarzuela University Hospital. In other words, we are talking about one of the top specialists, not just in Spain but in Europe when it comes to cardiology, Dr. Zamorano, who is the one treating Pedro Sánchez at Ramón y Cajal Hospital. The same sources consulted state that the treatment of Pedro Sánchez has been carried out with the utmost discretion and confidentiality possible. In fact, the Prime Minister would go to his checkups on days when fewer people were around and at odd hours so as not to be seen, like on a Sunday at 7 in the morning. The president was received by 3 doctors and entered the hospital, which was previously secured, passing with his security detail through the kitchen dock to a service elevator to go up to the floor where he is treated. Attention, because we have more information. The same sources consulted emphasize that the current heart condition has not been the only medical problem that Pedro Sánchez has had to face in recent times. However, those lesions did not have any significant clinical impact. Sánchez, we're told, is a very hypochondriacal patient and has been obsessed with his health since he became president. When he moved into La Moncloa, his wife, Begoña Gómez, demanded that the then head of the medical staff always accompany her husband to all events and trips. I have to say that I personally contacted the State Secretariat for Communication at La Moncloa, and before publishing this information, they did not deny it. I'm not going to go into the details about that conversation that gets passed from colleague to colleague. But I'll just say that these people who are part of the Moncloa team and the Prime Minister's staff sometimes forget that they are at the service of all citizens and that we are the ones paying their salaries. So there are certain things we shouldn't have to put up with. Either you deny the information, or you confirm it, or you don't make any comments. But we don't have to put up with anyone's mockery or nonsense because I'm the one paying your salary. I'm paying your salary with my taxes. If you want to help me and give me an explanation, you can. If not, that's your right. But keep the jokes to a minimum. We're talking about a matter of utmost importance. It's a matter of public interest. For years, the press has been speculating precisely about the health of the Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez. Here we are already revealing first-hand information about what is happening to the Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez. I don't rule out, and this is more of a hunch, that he might also have other medical issues which we won't get into here, but it's information that interests all citizens. Why? Because we all have the right to know what is happening to our Prime Minister, what his state of health is, because it could affect his ability to perform his duties as Prime Minister. What doesn't make sense is that we worry, for example, about what was happening to the former President of the United States. When Biden was president and suddenly, when it comes to the Prime Minister, no, because that's private. Come on, no. Here, it's not private, it's the Prime Minister, and we Spaniards have the right to know if he is in optimal condition to do his job and if he isn't as well. And we have the right to know. And let me also thank all the media, all the journalists, colleagues who wanted to mention this news at this hour of the morning. Maybe later, throughout the morning, the coverage will increase. There are people here who mention us because they're brave, because they trust this information, and other people who mention us for various reasons. Some do it out of jealousy and envy because they didn't get the exclusive. Others do it out of cowardice as well. And everyone, well, let them show their true colors. Many are probably already investigating, won't mention us, and will try to claim credit for any detail themselves. I want to thank my colleagues from the COE Network, Carlos Herrera, Antonio Naranjo, also to my colleagues from Es Diario, my colleagues from Periodista Digital, and my colleague Albert Castillon from his channel Castillon Confidencial, for all the references they have made to this information that I have revealed. Because he believes it's best for all citizens to be informed and to know what the Prime Minister's health is. Thanks to all of them for their courage, and of course to the envious, the jealous, and the cowards, nothing at all. If we've been suffering under Pedro Sánchez for 8 years, a big part of the blame also lies with many media outlets, some because they're branches and Soviets of the president of the government, and others because they don't do their job, because they're envious and jealous of information that they don't break themselves, and because they're not doing their job. Everyone should practice self-criticism, especially here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez, Libertad Digital, and Es Radio. Thanks also, of course, to my boss, Federico Jiménez Los Santos, for his courage, for always being on the front line. On that front line that opens up so many paths for others, because here some of us are on the front line fighting hard and others are waiting behind, and when the way is clear, they join in. Thanks to Federico Jiménez Los Santos, to Radio Libertad Digital, to all my bosses for being there and for helping us bring out this important and delicate information. And I suppose the Prime Minister wasn't pleased by it, but I don't care because Spaniards have the right to know. For any information about this, we will keep reporting it here on Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez and on Libertad Digital and on radio, of course, fighting against whatever comes. They won't shut us up, they won't silence us, and just look at Ferraz's reaction. The reaction from Ferraz that I've heard is that they say, look how bad he is that he even rides a bike for exercise. Well, if that's their reaction, oh my, we've caught them red-handed. That's it for this special edition of Medidas Cautelares with Miguel Ángel Pérez. I hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with whoever you want. Today is a very important, very special day, and of course we have new members. Because, well, this keeps going full steam ahead. And thank you so much to all the subscribers, to everyone who watches these videos every day. Without you, none of this would be possible. And we're going to dedicate today's video to Josean6430, our new member. You know, you can join for under 3 euros a month like the chosen ones, or for 7 euros a month like the supreme ones. You can also make your financial contributions via Bizum at 6275-56370, 6275-56370. My main point is making sure this information reaches everyone because information is power. See you soon.